don't spend all your savings on your hobbies, do you? You definitely don't want to end up borrowing money in a moment of impulsivity. Living with debt is miserable.
Well, Kaveh, unfortunately, we play a gacha game known as Genshin Impact, where sometimes we make impulsive decisions spending on our favorite characters, but that's neither here nor there. Greetings, chefs, and welcome back to the kitchen for another Genshin Impact geniusinvokationtcg today. Today we're going to be looking at Kaveh, who's interesting. I know some of you may have already developed a little bit of a dislike for this character, specifically in the TCG, because of what his abilities are, but, you know, I think regardless, you know, he's pretty interesting. He has a very specific niche, and I think that might be getting people a little too early. But yes, if you're new to the first impression series, what we do is that you cover in the character's kit, deck list, tips and tricks that I can tell you, you know, to playing the character, and there's a few with Kaveh, so let's get right into it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, as these videos take a lot of effort, and let's dive right into the first match. So I'm actually going to be showing you guys the most optimal version of Kaveh first off the rip, because there's the meme list for Kaveh and his talent card, but let's leave that for after, right? So yes, Kaveh, he is certainly something that you already might be thinking, Gojo, you've lost your mind. Why do you have 3 arcane cards? What is wrong with you? And you know, for the most part, I would agree with you, but this of course is a tech that people figured out, is that Kaveh, weirdly enough, is a little bit of a early round ender or an OTK deck that will really end rounds super early in 2 and 3, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yes, you can see obviously something's clearly very wrong here with me having so many arcane cards. But yes, the whole gimmick of Kaveh's kit is that when he creates blooms, is that he's able to use any card and discard it and convert that card cost into damage, and that turns you know, pretty powerful. So let's see how we get that, right? So we have the normal attack, doesn't do anything special, right? But then we have all the really important stuff, which is artistic ingenuity. When you cast it, it'll deal 2 dendro damage and create 1 burst scan status. A little status is going to be right below your thing, and keep in mind that you need to have the bloom core and the burst scan status to do what you want with this thing. So burst scan before either side chooses their action. If the dendro core or bountiful core, so yes, he does work with Nilou, -1 to their usage, so we're going to get rid of the bloom core, and then you're going to discard the card at the top of your deck, so you're going to take something out of here, and then it's going to deal dendro damage equal to the original elemental dice cost +1. So if I kill this out of my deck, then it's going to deal 4 damage, and we're going to see that in action right here, because now we have, you know, all the stuff. We have a bloom core, we have a burst scan, and you're going to see the bloom core kind of wreak havoc on your opponents, and I am just, it's so funny to see this in live times, right? Watch this, get ready for it. Here we go, that's 3, send it out, 5 damage. It should be base roller, but there's also that hydro, so that's a +1, which is super duper nice. And that's the entirety of Kaveh's kit. That's it. I'm just kidding, of course. We do have Painted Dome, which on cast will deal 3 dendro damage. We're gonna actually use it, you know, right now. Here we go. I'll let him play out the animation real quick. But it's going to increase your normal attack damage by 1, and then also give you Merrick's assistance, which will also convert it into dendro damage. And then every time you use a normal attack, you're gonna create another burst scan, so it's just more efficient, right? And burst scan, like some other buffs, has no timer on it. It's going to be purely dependent on you actually creating blooms, generating blooms. So remember, you know, the things for Kaveh: bloom, 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 kind of like Nilou, except, you know, there's no restrictions on your team, even though of course we're gonna play a bloom team anyways, because it's literally the most optimal thing you can do. You know, you're always gonna be doing something like this. So right now, as you can see, I have no bloom cores to speak of in Kaveh, so you know, his burst scan's kind of useless right now, but I have some survivability left, so let's go ahead and run right through it. Now, something really funny here is that, why do you run 3 arcane cards in this deck, right? I can go ahead and actually flip it open right now, right here. Here we go. Yep, here it is. And the reason we run 3 arcane cards is because since this deck does so much damage, and based off of just discarding everything, right, you're going to be throwing like basically 5 damage during your turn, which is basically no other deck can really sustain to that. You can just run 3 arcane cards with 0 cost to guaranteed be in your hand, and you can use it to adapt to any matchup. So if you're fighting a Yunjin matchup, right, where they OTK you as well, steal their energy. You're fighting you know, someone who does a lot of damage like Rising multiple times, Days of Resistance. I have an element applied to myself, I need to remove it because he can freeze me. Let's use Joyous Celebration, and now it's gone. It's hilarious, dude. There we go. And he's just gonna kind of do his thing. We'll talk about his talent in the other match, because it makes a little more sense to talk about it in that one, right? But yeah, this is the entirety of Kaveh's kit, and there goes down Barbara, and she shuts down for the show. Of course, you know, we can talk a little bit about Kaveh's song, we might as well. Art of budgeting, basically, when you have the burst scan available, it'll create a copy of the card you discard. It's nice. I don't recommend it too much. It's cool, right? But for the most part, don't stress over getting it in this, you know, version of the deck. It's really not the most necessary thing that you need to get within this list, right? So because, like, you know, you have so many 3-cost cards, you can just throw the claymores at people. It's fine. We're having a good time, you know. It'll be more important in the other deck, but yes, we're just gonna I'm just gonna let this deck do its thing. But I will start talking about any form of counterplay, because I know a lot of people are struggling against, you know, this deck, because, you know, the whole gimmick is, right, I'm already on round 3. Both Barbara and Furina are down for the count, right? So it's like, what am I supposed to do? This deck's overpowered. Well, the thing is that this deck literally loses to any form of disruption, right? So you have Overload, Animo, anything of the sort, right? Especially if you're playing the Whale variant, because Whale doesn't survive, you know, on its own. You need to discard more cards if you actually want to do its job, which thankfully I have done, but, you know, there could be scenarios where I don't get that much, right? And that'd be a problem. So right here, you know, this is what we're doing. If, you know, this person having freeze is also a big deal. You know, of course I don't have it currently, but if Risley had any access to Hydro Application, you can see right now, I can't swap onto Kaveh easily, and there's no action cards to help me. Again, that is one of the disadvantages of Kaveh. You're not really gonna have any, you know, extra cards to help you out in the match. So whatever you roll and whatever you get, deal with it. You're gonna have to stick with it, and it's too bad, so sad. But yes, here we go, moving into the next one. So once again, no free swap to Kaveh. So again, freeze, overload, animo, pushing tools, any of those are going to be pretty much you know, Kaveh's end, pretty much Kaveh's ender. And I'm really expecting to see freeze rise into this meta, especially thanks to Risley over here. But yeah, that's just generally the thing. So yeah, we're gonna move on with this match. Just let it go. You know, having a little bit of a hard time getting in there. Also cannot generate any bloom cores. So yeah, you know, gonna have a bit of a difficult time with that. Just know, one of the cool things about Kaveh, right, is that unlike Nilou, he can trigger this effect with other elements. So yes, you could run Kaveh Rainbow, but seriously, if you want to use the effects of Burst Scan, you know, you kind of need a Hydro unit. And, you know, at that rate, you might as well just run double Hydro. So don't let it discourage you, but, like, you know, it is going to be very difficult. I have some people try and run, like, Kaveh plus Quicken to make him deal Morse-based damage and stuff, but it's still not the most efficient thing that you can really do. And here we are, dangling on literally 1 HP. Thank goodness I swapped to the Singer of Many Waters to give me some healing. Yep. There we go, and now it's just me and you, Risley. Let's see what we can do. But I am Kaveh, the destroyer of our world, so we're just gonna go ahead and let the Hammer Slammer come down. What do you guys think about Kaveh? Because I did mention right earlier that there is very easy and reasonable counterplay to him. Of course, not everybody wants to play that way, but generally speaking, like, you knock out Kaveh, right, and he's just like, what is he gonna do now? He's cooked. But yes, here it comes. Bell coming in, knocking out Risley, GG's, and that's the entire deck. I really could not tell you more about Kaveh. It's hilarious, super duper funny, you know, especially the fact that we can actually run 3 Arcanes in our deck, something completely unprecedented that no one would ever think of, you know, in this day and age. But hey, you know, it's possible. And now we're gonna move on to the meme Kaveh deck that I have, which is working off of this talent card, which is going to give him a reduction on equipment. I decided, here's the thing, Furina has kind of been Kaveh's most optimal teammate. I just switched to Mona to give you a little more variance, and also because I really wanted to make sure I trigger talent. Hey, got super lucky. But let's go ahead and talk about what Kaveh's talent actually does. It is the art of budgeting. In the combat action, you're going to use your burst scan once, right? And then you're going to have the following effects. So when Kaveh has this card, when you trigger burst scan, add 1 copy of the discarded card into your hand. If this card is a location card, then the next location card will you play this round will cost 2 less elemental dice. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the list up right here. Yeah, that's right, I filled the whole thing with locations. We're gonna be filing a housing claim, my friends. It's gonna be a lot of fun, yes. But yeah, the whole gimmick is that, like, you know, I have basically a miniature Tubby as long as I have the talent card. And you know, one of the things I'll talk about in just a second is that I want to really try and force myself to guarantee this talent card turn 1, since I'm playing this sort of meme deck. So I played Stove. So if I never drew this, I would just play Stove, and then I would hopefully draw it. The other talent card in the deck is Whale, It's not the best, but hey, you know, I need something, right? So hey, let's roll with it. And then also for good measure, I did put Mimere and Zenyatta as a joke, and Guardian's Oath from the suggestion of one of the members in the server, because like, hey, you do more damage, so go for it. And I'm like, you know what? He's cooking. Let's do it. But yes, we're gonna be seeing the effects of this, and a big misplay, big oopsie loopsie. I forgot it was fast swap, so I didn't get to play any of my cards. But hey, at least I got Sumeru City out. It is what it is. Fire it up. Big oopsies there. But yeah, what do you guys think about Kaveh? Honestly, like this is gonna be more of a discussion segment because we're just gonna let the match fly, you know, and see all the crazy effects of the location. I really wish I got a good game with Mimere and Zenyatta just being ridiculous. I do have one Zenyatta proc in here that I do think is quite funny. But yes, it is just kind of Kaveh's Kaveh, man. He does what he do. He throws a claymore at you, he throws a building at you, and then he's like, well, I did +3 damage. Nice. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna be sliding through the match here. Get away, Willow, because I'm not likely to do anything more. And now here comes the burst scan. And this is the great part. I can replicate that Sumeru City, get the damage, bring it back, and I can now use it. Right now, everything that is 2 cost is actually free right now. So I can play any of these if absolutely necessary. It's super duper nice. You know, right now, of course, I can't actually get the things I want. And I'm trying to be really careful because this is a Toma Rising Furina deck. They have a ton of damage that they can do to me. You know, and I very much suspect that, you know, they have treasure as well, considering, you know, how Rising works, right? So that's going to be another factor as you go through the match. There we go. Some healing. There we go. Yeah, I also dropped down Sangonomiya. Sangonomiya really proves its worth, especially in the AoE decks, like, you know, anything piercing, swirling, you know, helps a lot when fighting in these matches. Of course, we haven't seen a lot of those in today's meta, but it still is something to consider. Of course, you can really choose, like, you know, I'll just pull it up for like the 5th time. Pick the locations that you want. Generally speaking, I think the most powerful locations in this deck are going to be the Sumeru City. And then, you know, let's be honest, Mimere and then Zenyatta, I'm doing it mostly as a joke. I put Jet in there just because, you know, bursting is a very useful tool, right? You know, I could have actually used Jet there, but I was trying to just be careful, you know, with what I had right now and make sure I don't mess up anything. And I could also save her for later rounds too, right? But yeah, this kind of stuff. I put Maripede. Maripede is definitely a mistake. I was getting 0 value out of Maripede in this game. And just in general in all the other games. I try to do it as a joke, but, you know, again, it's a silly deck. We do what we do, right? There we go. Get the other stuff. And now we have tons of stuff, you know, really to work with here. I'm not only getting 1 dice from Tenshukaku, but then Sumeru City, you know, which is a little bit of a review point. Let's go ahead and grab, you know, if you forgot what Sumeru City is, very popular back in 3.7 and beyond. But when you play a talent card or a character uses a skill, you do not have more elemental dice in hand. More elemental dice than cards in your hand. Spend 1 less elemental dice per round, and you know, of course, this stacks, right? So right now I can actually be swinging for you know, as long as I make you know, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6, right? If I get this down to 6 or less, I'm going to be able to do skills for 1 dice. It's very, very useful, and that's any skill. That's this one, 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 this one. It's super duper nice. I love it a ton. There we go. Oh yes, and being able to double it up too, and then also gain an extra dice. It's just got all this stuff. And of course, something we talked about in the previous video, right, with Apep and Xinyan, is that this is another card from the discard engine, Central Laboratory Ruins. Don't get to play it this round, unfortunately, but, you know, very, very useful to work with, right? And then here we go, another Bloom Core, another Burst Scan, Mimere, oh no, but it does just 1 damage, crunch them, and now we're back to Risley. Ouch! There we go. And flip over, and now I'm panicking a little bit because I do kind of need a little bit of healing, so I'm gonna start you know, doing some stuff over here. There we go. And also I haven't used up my talent card yet, so now I'm gonna flush out everything, and then we're gonna play Sangonomiya Shrine for free, and then also play 1 more card just to make sure I don't overdraw, which I still will. Unfortunately, my hand is very, very full, but yes, here it is. And then the reason I heal is because Veterans gives me, Veterans gonna give me that draw, and then we have the healing proc from Sangonomiya. So how unfortunate, we're gonna burn something. Guardian's Oath, hilarious. You know, very funny, silly card. Do it for maximum trolling against your opponents. Totally not necessary though. You know, for a moment. Anyway. Moving on from this high roll. Wow, holy moly, I got good dice this round. What can I say, you know? There we go. Now we're facing down Mr. Ryzen, sitting at 8 HP, looking, you know, mighty fine, 90 shine. But I don't really care about that because he's going to do that, and then I'm going to take a ton of damage. But now I get a free swap into Kaveh, and it's time for the Destroyer of Worlds to rain terror on this man. Grunge. That is a talent card for 2 dice, a 1 Samara City, and then here it comes. Hydro Res is just enough to push Risley over the edge and take him out. Oh, I got another one. Hey, nice. Bonk. GG's. Yes, and then we have a little bit of a funky endgame because Toma does have Revelry, so that is, you know, pretty difficult for me to punch through. But, you know, Whale is now pretty fueled up and ready to go. We use Starfall Shower. I'm going to discard my own talent card. That's a mistake, by the way. You should always play it. But, you know, I didn't count out my dice equivocally. I do make a lot of misplays in this sort of endgame segment because I get a little too cocky. But we were going to be saved by the bell by a very special someone. So, yes, just try to do your best. Hold out. This is the Whale segment now. This is basically a Whale video, Will. You know, of course, Kaveh doing the discard mechanic is going to fuel up Whale. You know, and you want to take any of your high cost cards, right? Anything from ranges 2 to, you know, 3 are most acceptable. 4 is not realistic because there's literally only 1 card in the game that costs 4 dice. So we don't talk about that. But yes, there we go. Now it's just a Toma 1v1. I'm going to heal myself up, get another draw. Nice as a fast swap, but it's also useless. This is a mistake right here. I should have played Central Laboratory first because these are not going to trigger this round. So I could have gotten some free dice. So, you know, that's something to watch out for. You know, always think about the cards that are going to be, you know, giving you immediate effects. Because now I play it, I'm like minus dice and I can't tune it anymore because I have all this stuff. Whale likes it when you have no cards to tune, really. There we go. I may discard the 4 cost, but still need a little bit more. And Toma's dealing a good amount of damage thanks to the Revelry stacks. You know, you really got to watch out for that stuff. There we go. Hydro Res. Get at least 1 more hit in. Now we're going to summon my little friend. Crunch. There we go. But unfortunately, he does not have a lot of stacks. So Toma's actually just going to crack this guy immediately. Yup. And there it goes. Now I am currently struggling to make sure I finish the job because it's getting pretty scary with what Toma has in hand. I do believe I dropped Jet down, right? Oh no, I hold her in to not reveal my hand, not make him think that I have a second one. But yes, here it is, Mamere, our good friend. Mamere is just hilarious. You know, you could generate anything, right? You know, some location, some companion, something to help Kaveh deal maximum damage. One thing that was unfortunate is that, of course, if you don't run Whale in this version, you could actually run Seirai Island probably to mess with people who are doing healing decks. Right, which would be hilarious, but you know, we'll see. Well, you have to get rid of one of your best partners, so it is a little difficult to do, right? Here we go. And this is where I start throwing a little bit because I think I can play all cards freely because I have lethal, but no, Whale does not have the +3 damage that they can get from their abilities. So I'm only at 1 HP, so I panic. I play Butter Crab, which is just going to be enough to survive this round, which is very lucky, by the way. If Toma had literally 1 more dice, I was actually completely cooked in this scenario, which actually this treasure comes out, but no means to draw it. You know, they're going to put down that, and then they generate something from Mamere, but it's not going to work out. There we go. Sangonomiya gives 1 extra healing. And it's just going to be me and Toma for the end game. Sorry, Toma. Your fishing trip has gone completely south and, you know, gone completely up the window because the whale is going to swallow you whole. And maybe you'll be found in Noah's Ark or something. We'll see about that. Brunch, there it is. GG's. Kaveh files his housing claim and the whale eats it all. GG's. What a fun match. What a silly character, really. I don't really know. I mean, what do you guys think about Kaveh? He's probably not going to see much competitive play, but of course we have a lot of love for the guy. You know, he's our, you know, very relatable broke friend who, you know, he really can't get a handle on his money, but he's, you know, he's a nice guy, right? But yes. Oh, hello. I think I disturbed something there. Leave them be. They're in the middle of a match. Hello. The rooms always reload, man. You know, they just do that. But yeah, that is going to be my whole review on Kaveh. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And let's go ahead and check out the deck lists right here. You know, copy them down. Do whatever you want with them. Have a blast, especially with the Arcane version. And, you know, be sure to check out all the other stuff. And weeklies over at geniusinvokationtcg. And my main channels where we're playing Wuthering Waves. And, you know, get main game Genshin back. And that's all for me. Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.